say, and some fighters say, well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it. Hey, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
What's the dang deal? Happy Saturday. Welcome to another edition of Soapboxing Podcast. It's your boy Manny Fresh, along with what you got today? The okayest? How do you even say that? Okayest trainer
You
ever.
said it right, man.
The okayest. OTE.
Yeah, they tried to say I wasn't no good. I said, I'm the okay as ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it feels good to be back, man. It feels like it's been a minute, huh? What we've been doing?
Man, I feel like I've been doing 3 jobs, bro, getting ready for this fight, man. It's so much. I asked my wife to help me out. She said, your own, buddy. So, man, I've been busy.
That's right. We got Quick Draw Randall fighting on the Thriller card this Saturday coming up. What is it? Jake Paul and who's the other guy?
Jake Paul.
MMA guy.
I didn't know who he was, but it's Askren. He fought in the UFC and stuff, I believe.
Yeah, well, so, for me, the main event is Q and Regis. That's the fight. Those are 2 fights I want to see, man.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that Regis fight. It's gonna be. I think he's gonna knock this boy silly.
Yeah, that dude. He's been on a mission. Go ahead and introduce who we got in today, brother.
All right. YouTube, Facebook. We got on 10-time national champion Jewry. Right there. Now I've been putting on there the crown jewel because I just like it. Plus my wife is the only black woman I ever seen that's interested in English people. I come home and she be looking at the English, like on Netflix. Uh-huh. And I said, the crown jewel, man. I said, that's Jewry's name, man. That's a good name. 10-time national champion, 125 pound national champion, right?
10 times, yes, sir.
10 times.
Yeah. You a one-time Golden Glove champion, man. And you ain't shit.
I'm working on number 2, though. We're working on number 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead. Who'd you bring on the show with you today? Jewry?
Go ahead. That's what dad. Go ahead. You can tell them who it is.
Okay, this is my dad, my coach as well. So
nice.
Absolutely. Man, when I had been following Jewry actually. I want to say before the pandemic, I'm a big proponent of women's boxing, and I just enjoy it because it's boxing. Because it ain't, I don't put no certain to it, but it seems like other people they flaky about it if they just don't know no better. But I'm a fan of great boxing, so when women, young ladies are great boxers, there's no difference to me. So me and Mike Campbell was talking one day, and I said, man, you know how I push these gals, man. I said, there's so many in the pro ranks and the amateurs, man. I said, I'm trying to pay attention to the young girls, the amateurs.
Right.
And the first name came out of his mouth was Jewry Rodriguez, man. And I said, well, I know who that is, but I'm not schooled enough. So let me start schooling myself, man. So it's been about, I guess, 2 years now. I guess I've been watching her, and then so I seen all the fights at the tournament because I had one fight on the show. He lost in the first round. I got him a waiver because he only had a few fights, but he spars pros and everything. But so then hell, I just had to watch Jewry then. Shit, he lost, so I ain't had nobody else to watch. So I was watching every one of the fights, and I'll be damned, man. I was so impressed, and we'll get into it about why, but man, Fresh, I was very impressed, man, with this young lady, man. And I tell you, I'm pretty good at picking fighters, man. I'm pretty good at it. I've been good at it a long time.
Yeah.
And Fresh will tell you, I was high on Clarissa before she was a pro. I was high on I'm high on that little girl out of San Antonio. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I really think watching Jewry fight, man, I'm like, oh Lord, I'm getting in on the ground floor. Now I know she's been fighting a long time, but I'm talking about as a young lady right now, man. I was very impressed. You did a hell of a showing. How was your experience this time out? Was tougher, not tougher? What? Tell me about it.
My past fights.
Well, this getting ready for this tournament, coming off of the lull and no fights and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I recently had I just fought at nationals. I fought 3 times, but before that, I had 2 fights, 2 smokers, one in Huntsville and then one in Harlingen, I believe. And those were my first fights coming back after 2019 December nationals. After COVID, and honestly, it felt really good to be back in the ring. I missed it a lot. You know, we took a year off, and you know, because of COVID, and it felt good. You know, get back in the ring after losing in nationals. So that one hit pretty hard. So, you know, I knew how to pick it up for the year to come. And,
it wasn't that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. She was fighting people. You was matched up with like some competitive fighters, man. It wasn't no.
Oh.
Yeah, man. You had a hell of a draw. I was watching the girl. You know, you had to come up with some answers. I seen you. I was watching you.
Our first opponent of this tournament was the number 4 seed, which was Alicia Ricks from Hawaii.
Oh wow!
We had lost to Alicia. We had lost by split decision, 3-2 split in the last tournament in 2019, right before COVID. So that one we had to get. So we had to get that one back.
Right.
That was our first one out. I think she was under more pressure for the first one of this tournament, which was against Alicia. But then after she got that one out the way, then we went on to the number 2 seed. And then from there we went on to the number 1 seed in the finals.
Nice.
And was there any extra outside of winning the rematch? Was there any extra measures you did coming off this layoff, no fights? You know, you did the 2 smokers, but this is the elite competition right here. This is the whole thing here.
No, I felt good going into that fight. Physically, I felt strong. You know, mentally, I was there. So I felt 100% ready going into that fight. I'm glad I had 2 tune-up fights beforehand, before getting into nationals. And it was a great training camp. So I felt ready.
Nice.
Which, would you say the first fight was the toughest? Which fight was the toughest for you?
Every fight had their different, toughness.
Elements.
Yeah, different elements. You know, some were more technical, some were more, I had to really fight for it. So my first fight was more, I would say that probably was my toughest fight mentally before getting in the ring. I'm never usually a nervous person before fighting. I'm usually really cool, calm, and collected. But for this one, that was the first time ever before standing in the ring. I felt just a little bit nervous. It was because, she beat me, and, I really didn't want to lose. I wanted to make the team, very badly. And so it was just a lot of little nerves that, try to, hop on me at last minute. But I had to shake it off. When the bell rings, it all goes away. So.
How did it feel when they raised your hand after that fight?
I felt really good. I felt relieved. We got the first one out the way. It was tough. She was a boxer, so she was boxing me out and ins and, being fast with it. But we did what we had to do to win. So
did you feel at that point we were like, okay, now I can go on and take this off?
Not really. Because
I did. we got that one now.
Yeah.
I take every one of my fights serious. It doesn't, no matter who the opponent. So I knew, every fight I had to be mentally there 100%. I couldn't overlook somebody, even if I beat them in the past, so, I went in there, having respect for each opponent for what they've done. things like that. So every fight was a battle. I had until I had my hand raised on finals day. That's when I let my guard down.
Let's go back a couple of years. One of the things that Coach and I really like to talk about and observe in boxing is the relationship between a coach and a fighter, but not only a coach and a fighter, but when that coach is their dad, it just really adds a whole new dynamic and beautiful meaning sometimes to it. Tell us about the history of this family boxing, man. You got a big family, huh? How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have
we about to put everybody.
all from the same mom and dad. I have 8 brothers and 4 sisters.
8 brothers and 4 sisters. Now, do the brothers box?
Majority of them, yes, they've all boxed.
So you got 8 brothers that box, and then you have 4 sisters. How many of the sisters box?
My little sister, just one of them. She boxed. She used to.
Nice. So, and where do you rank in the? Hold on, let me do my math here. In the 12, where do you rank?
I am the 7th child, I believe.
So you 7th oldest. So, yeah. Dad, how did this all start off with, man? And when did you realize she was going to be a fighter? Was it something that you wanted for her, or was it something that she came tugging on your shirt for?
Yeah, it came along. I mean, it was always the boys. Her older brothers, she has 4 older brothers, and we were always training, I was always training her brothers. And then when we didn't think about asking the girls, to come join the gym until the little sister that she mentioned asked me one day, "Hey, Pops, can I box?" And I was like, "Sure, come on, if you want to box, let's go." And the brothers were all against it. "No, we don't want no girls in the gym." And so I'm like, "Nah, y'all going with me all over the state and all over the nation on these tournaments, and I don't get to see them. If they want to come and they want to be a part of it, let them work their way in as well." Mm-hmm. When she found out that the little sister was going to box, and she asked too, "Can I do it too?" Boys got mad again. "No, we don't want no girls." But I told her, "No, y'all can box."
And what did Mom say about all this?
Mom has always been up and down with it. I think at first it was hard because she was against it. But then some things happened in our lives. Her dad passed away, and she has 2 brothers who started to stray after my father-in-law passed away. Mm-hmm. But I brought them in the gym. I told them they asked if they could box. I said, yeah. So once she saw how boxing caused them to straighten up, and that's when she kind of got on board from there. It was easier now because it's kind of like that Rocky movie when Adrian ain't down with Rocky, and Rocky, that low to follow him. Yeah, it'll weigh on him. Once she was on board with it, it was like a relief, like a load off my back.
Nice. So when you got Dad's permission to go out and start training, what was that first experience like? Was it something that you said, "Okay, this is what I want to do," or did you ask yourself, "What did I get myself into?"
Right away, whenever I was brought into the gym, when I started training, we had to stretch out. My dad always makes us stretch out. So right away, I liked the stretches from holding the arms and holding the legs, and I thought it was fun. And so then, also, the warm-ups, the jump rope, I thought that was fun also. And it was just little workouts that he did. It was just fun to me and something new. Right away, I did like it. I like, being in the gym with them, and it was fun right away. I enjoyed it.
The rest was history. You started kicking ass, huh?
We knew she was special when that first spar came up. We were like, "Whoa, what do we got here?" And she was sparring all these little guys, and they were like, "Wow." She was blasting little guys, the little males away. And then that first fight came, and same thing. She just running over people.
Nice. And how has it been having your dad as your coach?
I prefer it rather than a regular coach because I'm a very coachable person. When coaches come to me, trying to give me feedback and stuff, I invite it and I don't mind it. But, there's times in training camps where, y'all bump heads and the coach gets mad at the boxer. I don't think I could have somebody who's not my dad trying to get after me and yell at me. I just think I would have an attitude with that. But with my dad, it's better. So I would prefer it rather than somebody else.
D, what you think about this guy?
Huh?
What you think about this dynamic?
I'm for what works. So I don't believe in no, I think we all as trainers come into this thing and we kind of inherit the prejudices of whoever trained us, right? So when you're told maybe girls shouldn't box or maybe a guy shouldn't start boxing by a certain age or forget about it or parents don't do good for trainers and all that. Listen, all that's Jewry's a 10-time national champion. So anybody who tells me that a father-daughter thing don't work, I'm probably not gonna listen to nothing else they say because and fighting is so boxing, and we're all boxing people. Boxing is so intricate, right? That anybody pretending they have a set rule of thumb don't realize that you're dealing with an individual. The individual may make the fight, may make the individual's constitution may be the reason why they winners. The individual may the way they're able to take direction may be why they win. But each individual is different. So, and like Jewry said, you seldom, and Fresh can attest to this, I've been training him for years now. You never see me telling a fighter approached, meaning unless I was approached. You'll never hear me say, man, you need to do this and you need to do, you know why? Because I don't know what the hell you was taught and what you wasn't taught, and what I'm telling you may not fit, so I'ma just root for that person. And if the trainer's getting that work out of them and they winning, man, there's no such thing as a wrong dynamic if it's winning. It's wrong when you're not winning and kids are getting hurt and you're steady getting kids beat up because you really don't know what you're doing as a trainer. But trainers who know what they're doing, man, they it doesn't matter if they fathers, sons, uncles, nephews, or strangers. It doesn't matter. If they know what they're doing, it'll show in the work. So I don't have no problem with nothing, to be honest with you, if it's working.
They got the 10-time national champion. Shit seems to be working, huh?
Hey, look, man. And I want to ask Paul something. I was telling Paul, I said, man, look, I try to get trainers on here all the time. And outside of my friends, like Bobby and a couple of trainers that are Aaron, outside of them guys, they always tentative. They'll message me all day long. Coach, I think this, and this. What you think? This is it. But come on the platform on the podcast for some reason. I don't know if it's because you're kind of like laying yourself out, like somebody could ask you or something. But I don't know what it is. But I was telling Paul, I said, man, I want trainers to come on. If you come on with Jewry, I said, man, that's what I want because I like talking boxing, and these things. I think that's what it is. People are leery because who knows? Everybody who's got it together can lose in this thing in boxing, right?
Oh yeah.
It's you're one. Maybe you know the answer, right? But you didn't pull the trigger on it. Or
right.
maybe this is something you've seen a million times, but you was focused on this or that, and so you missed it and we lost. There's no secret formula to fighting. There's a relationship. There's trust, and there's character, and that's all it is. And Jewry, I'd imagine, Jewry has never second guessed her father. Nothing he's telling her because he has no reason to tell her anything other than he's trying to protect you and what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, man. And this people. I done heard all. I'm sure you did, Coach. You done heard all kind of strange shit, but I want to get into her background, but I think her background probably starts with you, Paul. How you came about boxing? Did you compete? Did you train? How did you come into the sport?
I got into the sport late. My first love was football. I played like 6 years Pee Wee football coming up, And once I got to high school, I got with the wrong crowd. So I'm from Greens Point. So I got with all the little gangsters from Greens Point. And went down real quick. Ended up in and out of juvie, in and out of prison. And I went to prison. And I was probably like 18, 19. And so I go down to the weight room. And down in the weight room, there was this brother working out. And I saw him in the corner doing these little shadow boxing and then kicks. So he was a kickboxer. So that was my first coach, because I went up to him and asked him, hey, man, what do you, what's this? He was, oh, this is kickboxing. So he was a kickboxer and coach. I think he was arrested for some tax situations or whatever. So I said, look, man, I'd like to learn that, man. Can you teach me that? But I don't need to learn all the kicks. I don't care about kicking. I just want to learn my stuff. Put them hands. I want boxing. And from there, that was it. I fell in love with boxing. And I just started training. And I came out of prison. I found a couple of gyms. Chapa's boxing gym on Cross Timbers back in the day. Went to Grace Point boxing gym, and then ended up in George Foreman gym. And but I was just a gym rat, I was just training, sparring. Whoever was there getting ready for tournaments or getting ready for the pro fights, I would, hey, can we spar? Yeah. I'd hop in the ring, spar. That's it. I was too much wrapped up still in that gangster life that I didn't take that opportunity to compete. And I felt bad about that, right? So my prime came and left, and I started realizing, man, I ain't gonna be able to box, But I always trained, I always worked out.
Right.
As the kids started growing up, and when I'd be in the gym, they would tag along like little kids do, right? They're all at their daddy's feet. And so that's kind of how I brought them into it. And that's how I got into it.
So they got it honest. The dad was the boxing guy.
Yeah.
So they fell right in line with it, right?
Yeah.
I follow you.
So as you were going and growing in the sport and figuring out your style, who were some of the fighters that you were watching, or how would you describe your style of boxing, your family style of boxing? And
hurry up and say the Chavez thing. Hurry up. Let's get that out of the way.
Surprise. It was actually the first guy that really caught my eye was Ricardo Finito Lopez out of Mexico. Nice. I love that old school stance, and it was a fight. He was a bad boy. So, and then from there, Oscar De La Hoya, Fernando Vargas, and then Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones. Those were the guys that I was looking at. I wanted, my style. I got it because I watched those cats. James Toney, boxers, but they can be aggressive too.
How old are you, Paul? How old are you?
47.
Okay, yeah, we the same group. You naming guys I was admiring too. I'm 44, but yeah, same watching the same guys.
Absolutely.
But no. Fresh was asking that because he likes to make sure Chavez gets in every episode. Oh, okay. So he was making sure. Nah, I'm picking.
We already know Chavez is the legend.
Yeah, right. He's the greatest Mexican fighter.
I'll still study him because you got to be smart to get
in. He's brilliant.
And not eat them jabs all the time. So I'll watch him.
He's brilliant.
But yeah,
don't he got a fight coming up?
Chavez Senior?
Yeah, I think he's fighting. Is he still fighting Roberto Duran?
As I know, they still gonna do that. Exhibition.
No, Camacho Jr. He's fighting Camacho Jr.
That's right. I heard about that happened or something.
What about you, Jewry? Who do you like watching in the sport right now?
Some of my favorite fighters are Shakira currently, but some of my favorites are Roy Jones, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. I love that slick style of boxing. You like hit and don't get hit. That's the style that I favor.
You are from Houston, Texas, and we have a special guest a special friend of the show, Marlene Esparza. She's from Houston as well, and she's been one who's really paved the way for women boxing, especially Hispanic women boxers. Does she play an influence on your career and what you want to do?
Oh, of course. When I first started boxing, I believe it was in 2012. She was one of the females that I looked up to, always looked up to, and always favored her a lot. I like to see her fight. I remember the first time I saw her fight was 2014 National Pals. I remember seeing her go against Jenny Fuchs, and she beat Jenny. And I was always watching them, and there was just the girls that I would look up to, her, Christina, Clarissa, and so we'd always watch her. And so as we got older, we always thought of us sparring Marlene. That was always in the back of our heads, we always wanted to spar her. But my dad would always be like, just wait until you're a little older. I don't want to throw you in there and you just, you just barely survive it,
Now, has this happened yet?
We're sparring partners. We've been sparring partners for about a year or two. Nice. And we're great sparring partners. We're good friends as well outside the ring.
Mentor? She's a mentor?
Yeah, Marlene is she's very helpful to me. And, she's always told me, if you ever need something, call me. She's always been real supportive. Yeah. There was a time where last year in 2020, when my dad got really sick, he wasn't able to, work for me in my corner. He wasn't able to train me. Marlene needed the work, and she was willing to come pick me up and take me with her to O Athletic and get some sparring in. And she was willing to, take me to the gym, have her coach work with me. She was real supportive. So Marlene's one of, a good friend of mine and one of my best sparring partners. So she's played a huge role in my boxing game. She helped me bring my boxing game up with her style, working with her. She brings an intense pressure, things like that. So there's really no one who I could say who brings that intensity in a spar like Marlene.
Well, that's what's up. Big shout out to Marlene. She's fighting actually at the end of April 23rd, I think?
27th.
The 27th?
Yeah, the end, right. The end of April, yep.
So
I think it's a boy show.
Marlene, we got to get you back on the show as well before that next fight.
Right.
What were you going to say, D?
No, I was saying because I know she did that show on Fight TV, but I think this is back on Golden Boy, I believe, right? This 27th show.
I think
I don't know.
Should be.
I may be mixing it up.
So what are your thoughts? As far as your career, women's boxing, the state that it's in. I mean, it's a good time for women's boxing. It's a good time for boxing overall, but it's a good time for women's boxing. How do you want to impact the sport? What kind of legacy do you want to leave?
Great time for women's boxing. Yeah. Greatest time ever.
Oh yeah.
My legacy. The impact that I want to make on the sport is to bring a lot of attention to it. I believe my style grabs a lot of people's eyes. And so, I really want to go down as one of the best female boxers or female athletes in combat sports. So that's one of my biggest goals, is to be one of the best female fighters to do it, business-wise and in the ring as well. So I think women's boxing right now is starting to blow up more and more. And I think we got good females right now who are, representing, Michaela Myers, Clarissa, Marlene, Sinicia Estrada, and many more other Katie Taylor, she's one of my favorites. And I know by the time I get to the pros, which will be after 2024 Olympics, the money will be way better and the sport will just, be more popular for women. So I'm excited for it.
I just waiting on us to do this show. I was tuned into the DAZN show, and they got that blind chick out of Australia. She always wearing the Skippy stuff at the weigh-ins and stuff, and so she's getting attention. But I was watching her fight. She just lost, but man, she was in there. She was in there fighting, man. I was like, oh, she can really fight too. I said, damn, man, all the girls can fight now, man. I remember when, and Paul, you remember this, in the 90s, when they was really pushing the women, Kristen Martin didn't have no competition until she got older, when they was able to beat her. But when she was in her prime, man, she was walking through everybody on them Tyson undercards. They had to manufacture, say they would have Layla Ali, they had to manufacture opponents because they even went to get Big George's daughter, who I don't think fought really, put her in the ring with Layla and stuff. But it's a different world now, man. These gals Frazier, that's right, Frazier's daughter. But the gals have to be able to fight now because you run into an ass whooping every time you get into the ring, man, because these women can fight. And I tell you,
Oh yeah.
I'm, you know, some people may think I overly promote it, but I don't think so. I think I'm promoting good fighters and good fighting. You know, so it doesn't. I'm not equaling nothing out. I'm a fight guy. I'm a trainer. When I see good boxers, I promote it. That's all. Y'all need to watch this. Y'all need to watch it. And hopefully by the time Jewry comes home a gold medalist, man, no telling what it's gonna be. You know, no telling what the business of boxing is changing so rapidly, man.
Right.
There's no telling, you know, what's gonna be laying on the table for her, you know, as far as revenue streams, because people are watching boxing now in ways they never, you know, well, it didn't even exist, so you couldn't have thought about watching it like that. But now with the apps, with the some TV still on, and all these different ways, man, social media, it's plenty of revenue streams for fighters, man. If they're good, if they're great, if they pass the test when they get in there with people, it's just getting better and better, man. And boxing, man, is like Manny just said. You said it's in a good the women's boxing good state, man. Boxing is in a good state right now, man. Hey, just these internet guys, I don't know who they are, but just for them to be able to get paid to fist fight with people, that's boxing. Rather not they can box, that's neither here nor there. They got boxing gloves on, and millions of people are watching it. So
if they can,
like we hop on here and we show them what a real boxer looks like. Well, you watch the other thing too, and it's fun. You know, somebody's probably gonna get knocked out. They making sure they match him up right. But then you can watch some class boxing along with it, man. It's a great time to be in boxing, man. It really is. It really is, man. And
the platform has gotten so much more bigger for people to get that exposure. You know, you got these YouTube guys and you got these celebrities where they're bringing a whole new base of fans that might not necessarily be boxing fans, but like you said, you know, they're watching some of these fights before the main event, and they're like, oh shit, this dude can fight, this dude can box. What's his name?
Right, you gotta sell, you gotta product yourself, you know, and I don't know much about that, but you know, if you have a storyline, listen, being a pretty little girl who can fight, that's a gimmick in all itself right there. That's a selling thing automatic. And then when they get there and see you in there and you're able to make adjustments and something may not be going your way, so you adjust and take it from them and beat them, man. Hell, what else you want? It's class fighting, man. So this boxing thing is in a good zone right now. And I think, man, with the growth of women's boxing, with the Olympics, I had a little girl, Jewry. Man. You said 2000. You say 2012. You said you was fighting.
When I started fighting, it was 2012.
Okay, Quentin walked into the gym for the first time maybe 6 months before 2011, and now he's where he is now. But I met him because I was training his little sister-in-law, right, in 2010, 2011, and the girls wasn't in the Olympics and stuff. You know, it was hard for me to get her fights. We went to, true story, I took her to New Orleans to get a fight, amateur fight, just an amateur fight. And she beat up this little girl, and unbeknownst to me, after we left, my cousin who was part of the show, he had to fight her daddy because he said he brought in a ringer, and and he brought in a girl to beat his girl up. No, man, it was in the infant stage, you know, and we building boxes over here because girls can fight. Y'all think girls can't fight? Girls can fight, man. And if you're not supposed to be in there with them, you in trouble. You in trouble. I promise you, Jewry beats up on boys. Don't say their names, baby. Don't say their names. I promise you, she beats up on boys. That's just what it is, man. And so the boxing is growing, and the women's boxing is growing. Everything's growing. But the way you're dominating amateur boxing, man, you do this Olympic thing, girl. It's gonna be on, and I'm gonna be right there buying a T-shirt.
Hey, let's talk about that. How is sparring been going for you? Do you find a lot of female sparring, or do you find yourself working with a lot of the boys?
Sparring is great. There's great work in Houston. You know, we got Futures when she is in town, Marlene, Melissa Parker, who's a pro right now. She does a little bit of MMA. So I get great southpaw and orthodox sparring. I used to spar a lot of boys when I first started boxing, but once the boys hit that certain age where their power starts coming in, we kind of shied away from them because, you know, their power was just on a different level.
Yeah.
And so my dad, we started sparring females. But here and there, I will get some work in with some guys, with some boys who are probably my weight or a little lighter than me.
Put some big 18-ounce gloves on.
Well, it's gotta be fair. It's gotta be fair. It's gotta be fair. So right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Coach Rodriguez, man, how would you describe Jewry as a fighter? How proud? What are your thoughts? Give us your thoughts on her as a fighter.
Like, she reminds me of what I could have been, what I should have been. Like, but in the female version, like my boy tells me all the time, my oldest son, Anthony, you know, he's like, man, Jewry's like Pops, like what Pops would have been or Pops would have wanted, you know, that's Jewry. And so I'm very proud of her, of course, you know. I think I know I'm her dad, so it's easy to get, you know, caught up in my daughter's the best type, you know, but, you know, I kind of try to look at it truthfully, you know. And truthfully, she's got to be one of the best. I really think she's our gold medalist for 2024.
I'm very. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask two follow-up questions. One, what are you most proud of that you see she brings to the ring, a strength, and what's something that you feel, all right, she gets this from me and it needs to change?
Most proud of
worked on.
There's a lot of little things. Like she never ceases to amaze me. You know, sometimes, like I'm a dad, right? And sometimes your kids will do something. I don't know if y'all have ever felt this, but there's a certain, like this little tickle in your stomach you'll get. Like when I'm sitting there chilling, watching a spar, she does this little move, and I'm like, whoa, you know. I try to hold it in, you know, but there's a lot of little things. I think some of the most things I'm proud of is her outside of the ring. You know, things that she does outside the ring. She taught herself how to play the guitar. She does a lot of praise and worship music. I think that's one of our little secrets, you know, of why she's so good, because I think the praise and the worship to God, it makes anybody better. And she put herself through school too. I mean, she was supposed to graduate this year, but she took online classes?
I did online
homeschooling and graduated in the 11th grade. So she was able to graduate when she should have been, finishing the 11th grade. She finished high school. So, and just the way she is with her brothers and sisters, I mean, she's there's a lot of little things, but yeah. So those are the things I'm proud of her for. Not just her performance, in the ring and stuff, but there's a lot of things outside the ring.
Good deal. What were you going to say, D?
Let me preface this with I'm seldom ever wrong. So let's go ahead and say that.
Everyone stand back before we get started.
This is for Jewry to let her know what I think about a person watching her fight and don't know. Coach Powell, I seen, because when I was asking her to be on the show, of course she was saying connect with my dad and stuff. And when I said, have we met in person or just we was texting before and stuff? We met before or
you and I?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been texting sparring. I think we was trying to get some sparring a few years back.
Okay. Because I told her, I said, I think I know your dad, man. We was talking about sparring and everything. But there's a thing I do, man, and I teach it to my fighters, and I get them to know the certain things, right? And one stone giveaway, and I don't care if it's at the championship level, certainly at the elite amateur level. I always tell my guys, I say, listen, man, when you see these people switching stances and stuff, it's 9 times out of 10 they're out of options or out of answers, and they just trying to get another look at what they're doing. So I'm watching Jewry, and this little elf was kicking. She's kicking this girl's ass, and I seen the girl adjust, and Jewry went to southpaw on purpose. Like she did it on purpose to make her ass get right, and then she got right. She switched. I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "This is real boxing right here." She knows what she's doing. Hey, bro, you couldn't tell me nothing after that, because that's normally a giveaway for fighters that coach, and throw your 2 cents in here if you disagree. That's normally a giveaway that a kid don't know what they're doing. They out of things, so they just trying to get a different look. But I watched Jewry, and I watched her do it a couple times in this tournament. She'll switch to make the fighter do something. Or if the fighter's getting away with something, she'll switch and make her adjust to switch. Oh, that shit is beautiful, man. And now, Jewry, tell me, was you out of things to do, or do you switch stances to change the angle on the fighter and make the fighter adjust? What was you doing?
When I switch, it's usually for several reasons. I'm usually in my groove, and when I feel like I'm teeing off, then sometimes I'll switch up, just out of a thing of having fun with it in the ring. Sometimes I switch up to give them a different look or set up different shots. I like to work. One of my favorite shots from the southpaw is doing a step back and counter with the left.
Don't be giving away our secrets now, baby.
We do.
Millions watching right now.
No. Listen. I won't give it away. I see it. I know exactly what was going on. But go ahead. Yeah, she did it too. She did it to
We got a lot.
She did.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things that I work on when I'm in southpaw, but mainly reasons I switch up is to give them different looks, to set different things up, and if I'm just teeing off and I'm having fun with it, I'll switch up, and those are the reasons.
It's a lot different than a fighter doing it out of trying to get a breath, trying to get somebody off of them, so they switch because they're out of things to do and all that. And I noticed that right off the bat. I said, man, what this girl can do? Then I seen her. She would fight small when she was supposed to, and then fight tall when she was. Hey, bro, this girl can fight, man. You know what you're doing, bro. I enjoyed the shit out of it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm a real fan. I wasn't just selling y'all a dream. I was watching. In fact, I set my alarm because Jewry will say, I'm fighting at such and such around 5 o'clock. Hold on, man. I'm driving at the work. I put it on the thing because I'm going to catch her fights, man. She made me a real fan, man. But what it is, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of class boxing, but I'm also, you can be a fan of fighters for many things, right? That sometimes you're a fan of guys just because they tough. But man, when I see guys, girls, when I see that they can fight as an education, man, and it's no wonder she mentioned names like Andre Ward and all that stuff. She's studying the game, man. These guys is real pugilists, man. These guys ain't just fist fighting. This is boxing. And man, I tell you, I enjoyed that whole tournament, man. And I don't watch the whole tournament. For what? I don't watch that, man. It's too much boxing going on outside of that, man. And I enjoyed the shit out of it. I really did, man.
You noticed who she didn't mention, right?
Who that?
Canelo.
Canelo?
Canelo's our boy too.
We're good fans.
What Derek got? Tell me about that, Derek.
I'm tired of explaining to this clown that Canelo Alvarez is doing things that just haven't been done, man. You got to realize, bro, this dude is special, man. This guy is a little bitty guy, man. And this guy is making light heavyweights look like buffoons, man. This dude, this kid constantly gets better, man. Every step of the way.
That's what I told you, right? That's exactly the way I see it.
I gotta take it easy on Coach Derek today, man, because he went and got his vaccine shot today. I don't want to get his blood pressure through the roof, man. How was the vaccine shot, man? How'd that work out for you?
Well, it let me down because at first I thought I was probably gonna turn green and probably, get some superpowers. But man, I sat there for like 15 minutes, man. I didn't have no X-ray vision or nothing, man. Nothing. I'm just regular.
You should have got the same shot Canelo got. And so
okay.
No, it was nothing, man. I went down there to NRG. It was the Johnson & Johnson one shot. It felt like a regular shot and went on about my business, man.
So Jewry, you've been taking the week off, man. That it's well earned. What is what's the plan for the rest of the year? What you got going on?
So because I won the last tournament, they entered me a spot on the USA team, and so now on May 10th, I think I'm going to be going out to camp, I think in California with the USA team, getting ready for the Pan American Games, which is I have to qualify first in June. And once I qualify and I end up like in the top 8, then I would qualify for the Pan American Games, which is in September. And the Pan American Games is a very huge tournament for amateur athletes. I believe it's the second important tournament after the Olympics. Mm-hmm. So it's a very, very big thing for me right now coming up.
So basically, it's going to camp with the team, and then from there, it's going to Colombia for the qualifiers. In September, going back to Colombia for the Pan American Games.
Well, you know what? I just want to. I really want to give you your props for going ahead and getting the school out the way, graduating, putting that behind you, though, so you can focus on this, man. That shows a level of wisdom,
right?
That you just you can't be taught that. So good deal, man. You're gonna have a very busy, successful year for sure. And you got to keep us posted. Keep posting your fights, and keep making fans.
Are you ready for this traveling, baby girl? Because you finna see the world, man. This is awesome. This is awesome.
I'm very grateful to be given the opportunity to travel out the country. This has always been the ultimate goal for me and my dad. We've always talked about how we're gonna fight when we go international. It's always been something that's been brought up in camps, and so finally to be given this opportunity, we're so thankful and grateful. I'm excited. I personally am a homebody. I don't like being far from home for long. When I go to tournaments, I start dreading the last few days. I just want to go home. So, but now I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to suck it up because I'm gonna be out there for weeks and without my dad. So I think it'll just be like a mental challenge being on my own, with other coaches in my ears. So it's just something to adjust to. But my dad's always taught me to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. So,
yes, indeed. Hey, Coach, what about you, bro? Man, your daughter's gonna be hitting the world, man. You gonna have to adjust too, man. What you think? You excited? What you think, man?
Well, we've always talked about it, so we know what's coming. I say it so that when it comes to pass, she already knows. Like, she knows what to expect. We try to go over it all the time. We try to talk about, man, what's it gonna be like when you get over there to Colombia? What's it gonna be like when you get in the Pan American game? What's it gonna be like? Remember the foods are gonna be different. Remember this. Remember that. We're trying to get prepper mentally ready, so that when it happens, it's not a shock to her. We're thinking about the elevations. We're thinking about the long stay away from home. We're just thinking about all that stuff. So while I'm telling her about it, it sinks into me too. So I'm like, hey, yeah, that's right. She's gonna have to go with other coaches and be with the team and things like that. So yeah, it's
it seems like it seems like you're very well spoken. It looks like you're comfortable in front of a camera or taking the interview. So that's going to serve you well. You're going to become the America's sweetheart, winning gold medals, coming back, have a successful career, and we're all going to be looking forward to it. And please remember us when you're all big and famous. Remember us little guys here at the Soapboxing Podcast.
Yes.
I'm I'm kind of unforgettable dude though. Once you see me,
you ain't lying.
fresh. I like to say, fresh is the brains of the operation, but I'm the eye candy. So I bring all the fans.
He's got that Adam Levine T-shirt on over there, sleeveless and shit.
Oh man, man, this is gonna be a fun ride, and Jewry, is the Olympics is still scheduled for 24, even though they pushed it a year, or what? It's still.
I believe so. Yeah.
They're not going to. They just made the adjustment for COVID for this year, huh?
And where is it? It's supposed to be up in China.
Yeah.
In China.
France. 2024 is France, and then 21. Yeah, France, and then for this one, Tokyo.
Oh, okay. Tokyo. That's right. Wow, man, I'm jealous. You get to travel the world and kick ass.
We're so like we can't believe France, Paris. So we're looking forward to that. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be great.
We got a lot of work to do. We ain't gonna, put the how they say put the carriage before the horse. We got things to do first, step by step, one day at a time, year by year. We got to earn it.
I always say, man, and I didn't invent this. Somebody told me, I can't remember. It might have been Coach Hyman. I don't know. I've been around him some years now.
Well,
but somebody said, Coach Hyman, huh, Coach? Coach Hyman, huh? Martinez? Yeah. But I forget where I learned it from, but I believe in it 100%. Pay close attention to the little things, man. And don't give the big things no time. The big things can overwhelm you. Listen, I tell my fighters, look, man, our opponent, look, once we put our eyes on him, once we did the work, he's just necessary. We just need him in order to perform. Don't give him no attention. It's the same thing. I think if fighters focus on, like you said, your strength, staying hydrated, doing your work in the gym, that everybody you come across, they're just a necessary. You can't have a fight if you don't have an opponent, right? You give them too much. You give them too much credit, then all of a sudden you forget. You forget how to win fights, and you win fights by doing exactly what you've been doing for years, and stick to it, and pay attention to the little things.
I kind of tell her the same thing. We can only control ourselves. Like everybody got to control their own. Everybody got to handle their own business. As long as we handle their own business right here, we keeping it here. We're doing what we're supposed to. They got to do what they're supposed to. And then when we meet the opponents, it's see who's the best.
We'll dab them off at the end when we kick their ass. Jewry, give me your top 3 pound for pound fighter. Give me your top 3 pound for pound male fighters, and then give me the top 3 girls, professionals.
From Texas?
Just in boxing.
Okay. My top 3 would be Floyd, Andre Ward, and Roy Jones. Those are my top 3. And for
go ahead. No, I was gonna say give me top 3. Give me top 3 active as well.
Okay, top 3 active would be Shakur Stevenson.
Man, that boy's baby.
Yeah.
I gotta think about it. I can't. They're just not coming to me right now. But for sure, Shakur Stevenson.
No, I think you're saying your favorites.
Uh-huh.
What they're asking for is pound for pound, right? So you got to think about what they've done, like Crawford. You got Canelo. These top guys.
Lomachenko would be one of
them.
them.
There you go.
That's French's guy too.
Yeah,
he can fight his bad.
Yeah, I love Lomachenko, and I like Teofimo Lopez. Watching him fight against Lomachenko, that was a really good fight, and I've been watching some of his fights in the past, and he's real. He can
fight and he's fun to watch. Yeah, you can be a fan watching Teofimo because he's trying to knock that other guy out. Yeah, I enjoy watching him fight too.
Hey, Coach Rodriguez, did you catch that Oscar Valdez fight a couple of weeks ago?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, you gotta go back. You gotta go back and catch that,
burner, bro. Woo, Burchell, and because Shakur, speaking of Shakur wants all them boys, man.
Right.
And Shakur, Burchell, and good. I think they should do it again. Me personally, I think
a beautiful fight.
Fireworks, man. It was a knockdown. Oh, it was fun to watch, man. All right.
Hold on. I want to know, Coach Paul, what's your top 3 pound for pound right now? Active.
I'm gonna have to say Canelo number 1.
3. Oh, my bad.
Bud number 2. Bud Terrence number 2. Number 3. I can't really say number 3 right now. What do y'all think?
They could go to anybody.
I'm the same way. I'm Canelo, Bud. Then I do the 5. Canelo, Bud, Fury, Earl Spence, and probably Teofimo. And in the second half, you got Lomachenko. You got all them in the top 10. You know.
Yeah.
You got all them guys.
I'll probably say Fury number 3.
That's where I'm at, bro. That's where I'm at.
Bud is number 1. Bud number 1. Canelo number 2. Tyson, Earl, and Themo. Those are my top 5.
All right, Jewry. Let me get them. Let me get the 3 top girls in the game right now. Professionals.
Number 1, I gotta say Katie Taylor. Number 2, Clarissa, and number 3, I would say Sinicia Estrada.
Man, she's good, man. I was sleeping on her, man. Damn, she's good, man. I was watching her the other day. Then she just win a world title. She beat this Mexican gal who been a champ like for 11 years, 11 defenses or something. You know what I'm talking about? She can fight too. I'm just forgetting her name. Man, Sinicia shined on her, man.
Yeah,
she shined on in Puerto Rico, man. And the other girl was trying to win. She could really fight. Sinicia Estrada, I mean, I guess she's getting her props too, but man, I was sleeping on her. I was tripping, man, because I don't know if I just ain't seen enough of her because she didn't have wasn't being publicized. I guess I don't know. Hey, you know who else is bad, man? That Serrano girl, man. She fought on that card with Sinicia, I think.
She's like Puerto Rican, right?
She's a Puerto Rican. Yeah, they fought in Puerto Rico. Man, she's bad. She beat somebody. And
Amanda Serrano.
Amanda Serrano, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something I just watched just now. The GOAT, the only girl got a win over Clarissa, that English girl.
Right.
Savannah Marshall. And you know, Fury's uncle is her trainer, Peter Fury. It's Savannah Marshall. He got Savannah Marshall. She just smashed the girl in 1 round. But I seen enough of her just now, just before we got on live. Man, she can fight. That's a real. Oh man, I'm excited, man. I see her and Clarissa. We got to have this one. Got to have that one.
I think I just saw something that Clarissa was trying to get a match with her. She
was telling Eddie Hearn because I think Eddie Hearn had something to do with it, but she was telling him, go on and make that money, man. Let's go on the zone because you know she can go on any platform.
Yeah.
Clarissa, she'll fight. You know, she ain't tied to a network, so she can go on the zone. She can go on everybody, man. And I think that's a real fight. Savannah Marshall. And think about it. Clarissa Shield won everything you can win a couple times, and the only girl that beat her ever. And I didn't ever see the fight, so I don't know if it was close or not. I don't know. She just become a world champion, I think. Or she had some kind of strap on, coach. I just seen it on the zone, man. Yeah, man. The women's got a deep division, man.
Women's blowing up, man. It's blowing up big time.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
I mean, it kind of reminds me. Remember when they talked about the men when Ali Frazier won? Remember Ali was telling Frazier, "Man, we're gonna get we're gonna get paid $1 million. $1 million was unheard of as for your purses back then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then here comes Floyd when he did that Pacquiao. If I'm not mistaken, Floyd, how much did he get? $100 million.
Something ridiculous.
Then here come the females now.
Mm.
Who's the first female to break $1 million purse? Katie Taylor. So the purse for females is kind of playing catch up to the men, but it's getting better for the females.
Katie Taylor can fight too. I don't know why. She's an average girl, huh? She's the average girl. She's fighting in England, but she's the truth too, man. She's bad. Did she win? Is she a gold medalist? She's a medalist. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's bad, man. Man, I'm telling you, the women's division. By the time Jewry makes it through the Olympics and everything, no telling where this is gonna be, man. Yeah. No telling. And 4 year coach, tell her 4 years is nothing, man.
Gonna go like that.
I forgot 4 years yesterday.
We got it.
Man.
Yeah, I tell her all the time. It's gonna go like that.
Yeah, my advice would be, like I said, just enjoy it, baby. Just when you go to these places, focus on your training, of course. You know, but enjoy it, like the culture and stuff. Whatever they let y'all do, let you see and all that, man, just enjoy it. Oh yeah. Don't rush it. Don't do none of that, man. Life's gonna come. Life's gonna come regardless, man. I would enjoy all that stuff on the way to make it.
Living every moment.
On the way to making history, man. Hell yeah.
Right.
And document it if you can.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Kids always taking them pictures because they document everything they do.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I appreciate you coming on and hopefully you guys know, both of y'all know I'm a real fan. I ain't just selling smoke, man. I'm watching. I'm really watching. I'm really rooting for you. So man, we're gonna be following you from now on too.
Why don't you tell everyone where they can follow you at?
Yes.
My social media, I have Instagram. You can follow me at Jewry Rodriguez. So Jewry Rodriguez, 2 Z's. So there you go.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Any last words, Derek?
Oh man, listen, I just want everybody to follow, man, and keep up with it because, like I said, all jokes aside, you know, I'm pretty good at developing fighters, and I'm pretty good at you know, boxing. I don't know much else. I'm like your daddy. I know how to make kids, and I know boxing. So that's about. He got me beat. He got my record beat, but I got me several. But yeah, and I tell you, I really appreciate you. I'm a real fan. I see what you're doing. I see what your dad's done with you, and man, keep going. We rooting for you, and I'm gonna keep pushing you. You know, from the fan side, trying to get everybody to be watching and paying attention, baby. Enjoy all the success you're having, and go get some more. Keep going. Absolutely.
H-Time, that's a wrap. We appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of Soapboxing Podcast. It's your boy Fresh. And I want to remind you, Saturday, tune in on the Thriller app. Quick Draw Randall's going to be on the undercard. You don't even have to pay to watch him. It's going to be on his bout's going to be free. So make sure you're watching it. We'll go ahead and post links as we get closer to the fight. And then you guys can watch the rest of the cards the rest of the fight.
Coach, anytime you got something you need to promote, if y'all doing some amateur shows or whatever, anything, bro, just hit me up, man. So we're going to push it. And if you want to do a show, bring one of your sons on, whatever the case may be, man, just text me, bro. We'll take care of it.
Excellent. Thank y'all for having us, guys. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's a wrap. Peace.
Keep winning, baby.
All right.
Go.
And so I think we